What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda, ready to preview the conference championship game. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend.
Yeah, and the vibes have been really good throughout the postseason so far. I mean, other than our teams being stupid and being out of the running. But like
Yeah,
I was noticing that there was a lot of like fun weather games and stuff this postseason, and then I saw something and I had to look into it. This is the first year since 1999 that all postseason games have been played in an open air stadium. Like there's been no domes so far this
that's awesome.
postseason. That's crazy.
And it's sticking it to all these teams that are moving into domes. I hate it. I love there's been so many snow games, so many cold weather games. It's
We
been
had two
fun.
snow games last weekend. That was awesome.
Yeah. And they were awesome. And we get all these great shots, like the Keyshawn Booty one-handed
hmm
catch, Stafford standing in the snow. Like, we love stuff like that. I hate that all these teams are going away from outdoor football. That's how it's meant to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like people are like, oh no, it gives the home team a huge home field advantage. If you look at the teams that had open air stadiums, Lambeau Field wasn't a home field advantage at all this year. Like most of
Yeah.
these teams who have the quote unquote home field advantage, they lost this year at home more than they did on the road. So like I don't think it's an unfair advantage. Like, yeah, playing in a
Well,
dome makes it more even as far as temperature control, but it also makes it way more boring.
well, and if you're a team that plays in the cold weather area, why wouldn't you want to use that to your advantage? And I
Well,
don't understand
And I mean, there was that
moving
stat
away
about
from that.
Stafford being 1-9 in cold weather games, and he's never won one, and he still won anyway. So, like, I don't think it's that much of an advantage. Like, I think it just adds another element to the game, and I think it makes it more fun. It makes
Yeah.
teams have to think on the fly and make adjustments. I think it's
Yeah.
fun.
As someone who's been to multiple snow games, cold weather games, I love it. That's my ideal situation. And I've talked to Bears fans who are like, "Oh, I want to be comfortable in a dome." It's like soft, like
Yeah,
football
go to
fans are
baseball
becoming
games
soft.
in July then. Like,
Yeah,
if you don't
it's
like cold
it's
weather, don't go
stupid.
to football games.
It's supposed to be outside, and lucky you, your two teams, your Packers and the Bills, they both are never going to move inside. I don't think so.
Yeah, hopefully.
But
I'll be very
we'll
disappointed. But, honestly, with all the dysfunction we're seeing out of Buffalo right now, who knows? I mean, that team from the top down seems like such a mess. Like, I know we're here to talk about the championship weekend, but the coaching situations here, we've got GMs and head coaches throwing each other under the bus. The fans have started a petition to bring back McDermott. They have, I think,
Yeah.
last time I checked, it was like 400,000 signatures to bring McDermott back to be the head coach. Like, getting rid of him and then not having the
Promoting?
promoting the GM and then not having someone lined up, like
Yes.
it just seems so dysfunctional. And then interviewing Philip Rivers, which
Yeah, what is that?
so that's hilarious to me because it's like, hey Josh, I too have never been to a Super Bowl and will never win a Super Bowl. Why don't I coach you into never winning? Like they're gonna go down if this continues as the two best quarterback, three, well, there's obviously a third, but to never win a Super Bowl. Like they're the same person. Just a
Yeah.
decade later. Like that's what a horrible matchup that is. Like Philip Rivers is not ready to be an NFL head coach. That is such a huge leap when there are other people proven to be winning head coaches. Like
Yeah.
I am so baffled by that.
It reminds me of when Jeff Saturday took over as the interim head coach for the Colts. That made no sense then.
Yeah.
And this makes no sense. I get it. He's called plays, he's been a quarterback, he's
Mhm.
more in tune with the offensive game plan. But the Bills are this close, and Josh Allen's in his prime. Josh Allen cannot afford, and that organization cannot afford to be taking steps backwards. So if you're going to fire McDermott, which I guess you can justify firing McDermott. I get it's borderline, right? You've had a lot of success with him. If you're going to fire him, fire the GM as well. Don't have it uneven,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah, clean house.
Promoting Brandon Bean makes no sense. And um, the only way it makes sense to fire the coach is if you can upgrade. at this point in Josh Allen's career. And the only upgrades I see, I keep pounding the desk for Bill Belichick. I don't think it's going to happen. You don't
No.
think it's going to happen. But if you're trying to win now, that's the move that makes the most sense.
Yeah, but do you think Belichick would want to come in there knowing how much, I mean, the way that they were throwing each other under the bus and arguing
Yeah.
with their previous statements and stuff this week, I don't think Belichick wants to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Not only what I said on our last episode, like, I don't think he would go in division after 23 years of running that division. I can't see him switching over to the other, like, good team in that division. I can't see him doing that. But also, like, that team. I mean, Stefan Diggs tried to warn us about that team, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh, he's a hothead. He's taking shit personally." Like maybe there was more to what he was trying to say.
Well, and it was funny that press conference with the owner and GM Brandon Beane was so bad, one of the
So
worst ones
bad.
I've seen. And they were trying to say that the drafting of Keon Coleman was on the head coach, which, first of all, you're throwing a receiver that's on your team to run him
Yeah.
over, which makes is so
Well,
unprofessional looking.
I will say, as much as it would have been nice if they hadn't said Keon Coleman, like, yeah, we disagreed on something during the draft, and like there were some concerns I had about a certain player. Like everyone would know immediately who they were talking about. Even if they hadn't
Yeah,
said
but
Keon Coleman, like if we're talking about a player that maybe people had some concerns about, and then someone else was like, no, 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 we should get him, and then like they ended up having some behavioral issues during the season. I mean, he was benched 4 times. Everyone knows exactly who they're talking about. And
yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's really throwing him under the bus. Like none of that shit was in private. Like him getting benched multiple times, him throwing temper tantrums on the sidelines, like we've everyone knows about that. So I don't think referencing it is as bad as it would be if all of that stuff had been private. Like if he hadn't been benched
yeah.
multiple times. Um,
Yeah, we're gonna know who you're talking about, but then
yeah.
the biggest thing that stood out to me is trying to say that Brandon Beane, the GM, didn't really want Keon Coleman. It
Yeah.
was the coaching staff that did. And then all this video starts coming out of Brandon Beane openly talking about we're gonna draft Keon Coleman, him running a little bit slower over 40. Oh well, that will help him fall to us. Going into day two, oh, we're taking Keon Coleman here. Unless something miraculous happens, we're taking Keon Coleman. That certainly doesn't look like a GM that's like, I don't want this guy.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times do you think they talked about this ahead of time? If they're like, no, if he's available, we're taking him. Like him saying this is who we're taking because they disagreed on it previously and they were like, no, this is what we're doing, and he got outvoted. Like he's just saying what they're
Well,
doing. He's not saying how he feels about what they're doing. So yeah, it looked a little shitty, but also
the
like I feel
optics
like
look bad.
it looked really bad. But I feel like there's some behind the scenes context a little bit. Um, Speaking of coaching shifts, we talked some shit recently about Jonathan Gannon and his lack of ability to have any emotion when talking to his team. I saw Green Bay interviewed him for our defensive coordinator vacancy. So bad. Like no, like that that
Well,
one that one video of him talking to the team and he's like, "Hey, what you guys had a good weekend?" Like he was a robot. Green Bay does not need that. Like our team is young. Like the youngest team in the NFL. Can you imagine that wet blanket energy? Like obviously as a Bears fan, you're like, "Hell yeah, Gannon sounds great. Let's do it." Horrible. And
it,
right now he's firmly in the mix. So thanks. I hate it. I will take Al Harris. Real mad Brian Flores said no. Um, yeah,
It's
no.
funny as
Please God,
hell
no.
that you say robot when saying that because when he first was introduced to like the players and he was kind of making some weird sounds like and stuff like that, a lot of people were comparing him to the guy who pretends to be a robot on Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, you know
So
what?
it's funny you
That's
say that.
yeah.
But
I don't think it's funny. I think it's concerning. I am
well,
traumatized.
a guy like that, though, I will say, has a much better chance of being successful as a coordinator
Yeah.
than a head coach. That's why I think Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers as offensive coordinator is
I think
actually a good hire.
he's a great offensive coordinator situation. Um, I am cracking up at just picturing him and his flashy Miami vibes, like looking like he's part of the mafia, showing up next to Harbaugh wearing his fucking New Balances and his khakis and his tucked in polo. They're gonna be so intriguing to watch on the sidelines. Like their dynamic,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so entertained by that. Like it's like the the weird younger brother who moved to Hollywood versus like the suburban dad. Like
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. That's gonna be so fun.
I kind of like it too because Harbaugh is very set in his ways and
Mhm.
old school, and Mike McDaniel is very creative and new school. And
I
I
think they'll
think
be good for each
Harbaugh,
other.
yeah, they can kind of learn from each other here. So I like that hire, and I think Green Bay Gannon's in the mix, but I think Al Harris
Al Harris or
is the number
Leonard.
one.
We're waiting
Yeah.
for Denver to be out of the mix at some point so we can talk to Leonard. I think he would be a great
Yeah.
fit. I love Al
Yeah.
Harris. I also think it's funny that people are like, well, you can't just come steal our guy in the division. Excuse me,
I
he
think
was
you
a Green
can.
Bay Packer. He played for like your team clearly doesn't know
What did
anything.
we do at head coach? We stole from the Lions. What are we talking
I'm
about?
like, hold up. First of all, you have no room to talk because A, Ben Johnson in division. B, Al Harris
Yeah.
played for the Packers. You guys
Yeah.
borrowed him for a minute. Like, we can take him back if we want. Like, don't even come out here like, oh, Green Bay just wants our leftovers. Hold up. No, no, no.
That
Um,
happens all the time. Yeah.
no, and it should. Like, they get exposed to those coaches in their division more than anyone
Yeah.
else. Like, they should know them better. I think that makes total sense. But honestly, up until we get rid of our special teams coordinator, I don't really care what Green Bay does. I am not concerned about DC. Our special teams coordinator needs to get hit by a bus. We let go immediately.
Well, we'll see if they actually do that. You even said they might not actually even fire him.
I mean, everything that fans wanted, like they're just like, no, we're gonna keep everybody and just run it back for another year. Like we were close this year. Yeah, until some big injuries, and then we made no adjustments. Like
Yeah.
we had some major players get injured, we did nothing. And I do have to issue a quick public apology to the Green Bay Packers special teams. I talked a lot of shit all season. I missed that our punter had the third best single season mark by an NFL punter
Okay.
in
See?
history. I talk a lot of shit about our other kickers on the team. But I mean, Daniel Whelan had a hell of a season. Only Packers punter to lead the league in gross punting average. So I apologize for the blanket statements I made. Our punter is forgiven. Everyone else on
He,
special teams can take my words to heart. But Daniel Whelan is waived from having to hear my negative speech.
he's making up for Brandon McAnus over there on the
No, no,
kicking.
he is not making up for Brandon Mc minus 7 points. And no, nope, you lose us a postseason game when we're up 18 points, we can fight. No, there's no way to make up for that. Sorry.
So we were, all signs were pointing to Travis Kelce retiring, but the Chiefs hiring Eric Bieniemy back as offensive
Mhm.
coordinator has Kelce making some interesting comments on his podcast and about, looking forward to seeing him again. And then Tyreek Hill tweeting, interesting. I wonder if the Chiefs give it one last run with, bring back Tyreek, bring back Kelce, try to give it
I,
a go.
I feel like they would have to like announce that like this is our last one because I feel
Yeah.
they just seem to have lost so much energy and chemistry over the last couple of years. Like, I mean, we were saying last year even, like up until they kind of got it together in the final stretch of the season, we were like, does Patrick Mahomes suck now? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on here? And this year they fully fell apart. I feel like it would need to be the mindset like after this year, we don't care what happens. We want to win one more, get the boys back together, one final run, and just kind of like plan on Super Bowl and then retire for everybody, basically. Because the team just didn't have the energy this year. Like it just felt so like no wind in their sails. I didn't get the vibe from them that they cared at all about this season. So I feel like it would
Yeah.
need to mentally be like a no, we're doing it this year thing and not just like, oh, we'll win again eventually. Because they just got so used to being good year after year after year. Like they
Yeah.
just kind of lost the motivation.
And now you got Mahomes coming off a torn ACL. We'll see what he looks like. He did struggle at times, and now coming off a major injury, all that rehab. We'll
Mhm.
see what he looks like to start the season. And also, an interesting aspect is Matt Nagy is no longer the OC at Kansas City. He got a couple head coach interviews, but it doesn't look like he's going to get a head coach job. So he might end up being an offensive coordinator somewhere else. The Eagles are interviewing him, but we'll see what happens with Nagy.
Oh, speaking
Um,
of quarterbacks and retirement and whatnot, we talked a lot about how Aaron Rodgers would only want to come back to Pittsburgh if Tomlin was there. I've seen rumors that Mr. Mike McCarthy might be chatting with Pittsburgh about the head coach vacancy. Do you think
Yeah,
Rodgers would give it one more go in Pittsburgh if McCarthy came in? I mean, they were together forever. Like that duo
yeah,
was, I mean, that's a Super Bowl winning
possibly.
duo.
Yeah, possibly. I could see that. I hadn't thought about that, but that's the one thing that could potentially keep Aaron Rodgers is to bring in
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy. Yeah,
Otherwise, if he doesn't retire, Minnesota looks like such a perfect landing spot for him right now, which is hilarious. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the
I would
circle of
love to see
life.
it.
The
Yeah, I
circle of
want to see
life.
that.
I will say I only
Um,
own one Minnesota jersey, obviously, and because I had to get the Brett Favre collection. I'm gonna have to complete the Aaron Rodgers collection if he does too.
yeah, then you're gonna have to get a Jared Allen jersey, and you're just gonna have to go all
No,
in.
no, 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 just Brett Favre. Actually, I don't even know if I'd do it for Aaron Rodgers. Like, I don't think I could
Yeah,
get
you
a
have to.
Pittsburgh one.
You need a
No,
Steelers one too.
I'm not even intrigued by a Rodgers Steelers one.
You didn't get a Favre Jets jersey, did you?
Do you want me to go grab it out of the closet? I've got the Favre collection.
I feel like you should have to wear it now. But anyways,
If we get Favre on the
um,
podcast, I'll wear his Jets jersey.
there you go. That'll get Favre on. The Miami Pack Fins. I mean, the Dolphins seem
Uh,
to be going all
the
in on Green
Wisconsin Fins, the Wisconsin Fins.
Bay. I'm waiting for Malik Willis and Christian Watson to go
Mhm.
next.
It's so funny to me because I have been saying for like a month and a half now that like, oh, Malik's gonna look hideous in a Miami jersey because he deserves
Yeah,
a spot like as a
yeah,
starter after his last couple games. I mean, he's so good. I like that he wants to stay in Green Bay. But seven teams are reaching out asking about you, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna see if they
he's
can
gonna
make it
get
work."
paid.
We just don't
Yeah,
have the cap space to keep him, I don't think. As much as
yeah,
we love him, it just doesn't make sense to invest that much money into a backup quarterback. Like
yeah.
he deserves more than we can afford, I think.
Yeah, and
Um,
I want to see him with a starting opportunity, get a bunch of
yeah,
starts.
he deserves that. Unless we were gonna like alternate snaps or like have him like switching around on the field, I don't think he's a Swiss Army knife kind of player. And I don't think Green Bay is that type of team. But yeah, the Miami Green Bay Railroad here has got some interesting names floating down it. Christian Watson. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I can name four players they can just have. Like I would pay them money to take McManus. I would pay them personally.
I don't know if
Um,
I want him at this point. Rashawn Gary, I don't know if they want him either.
no, they can have Rashawn. Rashawn is great. He was so good in the first half of the season. You just need a Micah Parsons there to balance him out. Like Rashawn
Yeah,
wasn't bad. They can have him. I think we need to move on from running back. Josh Jacobs is great, but I don't think he's worth the money we would owe him. So yeah, I got a few players for them, but um, I feel like we should talk about this weekend's games. And I have to say, it's funny to me that we could have just ended the season 6 weeks ago, taken the four best records, and been like, "Oh, here's your AFC and NFC championship conference championships," and these four teams would be there. Like, that's yeah, good for them. Like, I'm glad they did that for their fans that they didn't drop off and their seasons didn't collapse late in the season. Like, it's nice to get your hopes up in week 12 and then not have them crushed by your stupid team in the first week of the postseason,
well, the
like mine
Rams
does every
barely made
year.
it. The Rams barely made it. They could have
Yeah,
lost to Carolina. They easily could have lost to
yeah.
Chicago in overtime. The Broncos easily could have lost to Buffalo.
Yeah, but it
So,
is nice like being able to root for your team and not having fall out in the first round of the playoffs every year in some heartbreaking fashion. Um, I just
yeah.
last week I rooted for all the teams that I thought would have like the really cool stories if they made it to the Super Bowl. Like got teams that have never won a Super Bowl before, like but like all the like everyone who's still in, like other than if the Broncos overcome their starting quarterback breaking his ankle 3 weeks before the Super Bowl, then like that's a great story. But everyone else is like, okay, well they've already won one. Like New
It's,
England was
it's a,
great for so long. Like, oh, great, they're great again. Cool. Like, good for them. Like, we've
yeah,
got the first and third easiest schedules in the league in the AFC. And mind you, New England's schedule was the easiest schedule since 1999 in the league.
yes, but let me give you some context and perspective to this, and I can give you some storylines
I,
here. All right.
I don't need
One,
context or perspective. I'm just saying, It's
Well,
there aren't any
so
great underdog stories. These teams are all great. Like there
yeah.
isn't a like as a fan who doesn't have a special spot in their heart for any of these teams, like I would be rooting for Matt Stafford to win a Super Bowl and then retire if he hadn't won one, but he already won one. Like how do I pick who to root for here? Like the Broncos because they're missing
Well,
their starting quarterback. I'm not talking shit about any of them. They all absolutely deserve to be here. They've got some great young teams, second year quarterbacks. I mean, they're fantastic. They all deserve to be here. But as a non-fan of any of these four teams, like there's no obvious like underdog fun story to root for. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking shit about any of them. It's just like they're like if the Texans were in, I would root for them because they haven't won. If Josh Allen was in, like it's
yeah.
they're great. They
Well,
all deserve to be here. It's just kind of like, well, who do I pick?
well, I think Denver has quietly, because of this injury, now become like, they'll be a cool story, like you said, if they go with the backup quarterback. That's rare. I don't expect it to happen. Jarrett
Yeah.
Stidham, he doesn't have much experience at all. The
No.
one win that Jarrett Stidham has as a starter came against Easton Stick. So
Yeah.
I don't expect him to win
And
this game.
and 2 years without throwing a pass is a
Yeah.
long time. Also,
Yeah.
a quick little shout out to Denver fans. Um, I know your thing all season has been like, we believe. Um, Hearing and seeing the hashtag ain't no party like a stiddy party, let's not reference P. Diddy in our NFL team mottos in 2026. That's not a good move. I don't know if you're thinking about the context there, but like let's not rhyme things with Diddy's name for our team. I don't think that's a good look
Yeah,
in
well,
year of our Lord 2026.
Colorado's got some issues, so we don't need
Oh.
to go down that
I
one.
keep
But
seeing that on Instagram and I'm like, oh no, 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 no. We don't want to do that one. I know it
real
rhymes,
quick,
guys, but context matters.
real quick before we get to these games, did you see the story about the 49ers and the electrical substation thing that's right
Mhm.
next to their
Yeah,
facility?
yeah.
And that's something to look into. I mean, why would that be there? And you're the most injured team by far.
I mean, late season Green Bay has
Maybe
a
Green Bay
run
has an
can give them a run
electrical
for their money, but yeah,
substation.
no. Year after year, this team has to overcome injuries. It's very interesting. If
Yeah,
you think of like the currents in the human body and stuff, like a little shift here, or like the birth defects and stuff, like people who grew up
yeah,
in places where like a bomb had gone off previously, like there's definitely some research that needs to happen there. Like
yeah,
I hope some college class in the area takes advantage and just uses it and like just starts taking samples and comparing it because
yeah,
I that's such an intriguing concept. Like, is this why they're injured every year? Like,
yeah. They're
that's
calling it a
crazy.
conspiracy theory, but we know what they say about conspiracy theories. There's usually something to it. But anyways,
Sometimes. Let's not say usually. It's sometime.
all right,
Alex
let's go.
loves him a
So
conspiracy theory.
yeah, don't get me started. All right, the Patriots and the Broncos, and whoever wins this game, because New England going up against Jarrett Stidham, you expect the Patriots to win, but also they're 0-4 all time in Denver in the playoffs. It's has a great home field advantage. It's a tough place to play, a tough place to win. Um, so the Patriots are going to have their hands full here. Did you see the trash talk going back and forth? Sean Payton said they're going to have plenty of rest after this one, 2 weeks, talking about his fans. And then Kayshon Boutte responds and says they can rest in Cancun too at the end of the day. I love some trash talk going into this game.
I mean, that's not even good trash talk. Like,
Yeah, but
if
it's
we make
something.
it
It's
through this one,
bulletin
like,
board.
that's just a fact. If we win this one, we'll have 2 weeks of rest before the next one to like figure stuff out. Like, that's
Well,
just,
he's saying we're going to win,
I
you
know, but like,
know.
that's just informational. Like,
Yeah.
he's just saying, like, hey, if we win, we have 2 weeks. Like,
And Bootie's like,
that is,
you can do that in Cancun.
that's
Like,
the lamest trash talk. Like, I'm disappointed by that. I expected more. Um, yeah, no.
um, Drake May, the Patriots have won two playoff games, but Drake May, 5 turnovers through 2 games and 6 fumbles. That's
Mhm.
is you. We know turnovers are going to be a key in the outcome, and Drake May better protect the football. And Nick Bonito with 2 forced fumbles
I
last
was
week.
gonna
This
say that
defense,
that Broncos defense loves to force a fumble, and they're not gonna have to
yeah,
try very hard to force one if he's. I mean, they recovered one, but 5 fumbles is a lot. Did you know
Yeah,
that Jarrett Stidham starting this week is going to be the first quarterback since Roger Staubach in 72 to make his first start of the season in a conference championship game.
that's crazy. I remember Rex Grossman did something like that. It wasn't the conference championship. I think it was the divisional round, but
Yeah.
still, that's not ideal, you
Sexy
know?
Rexy. You miss him,
Yeah.
don't you?
No, and we lost that game too. So back in 2005.
I miss
But
him and I miss Jay Cutler forever. Kyle Orton. You guys had such a great quarterback history in Chicago. It's a shame that Caleb Williams is so good because I can't even talk shit about him. Like,
yeah, Mitch Trubisky. We've had so
oh,
many.
Mitch. Mitch. Such good quarterback history here. But yeah, so this will be interesting. I do think we have seen Denver have some mediocre quarterback play and push very far into the postseason before with a great defense.
Yeah,
I mean, the team is backing him. They have faith in him. That defense looks great. And he hasn't played poorly in the starts he has made in the
yeah,
past. So I mean, Peyton said he's gonna rip it. That's our approach. We're just gonna let him loose. Which we've seen be pretty effective for other teams this year. Like, all right, just let the youngin let him sling it. Like
yeah,
he's had some time to develop chemistry with the team. He's there. And this, I mean, this defense is there to support him. New England is fun. They're scrappy. They're young. It is a lot of pressure. And I know like Denver's a young team, but there's so much older, like mentality wise. Like, and I
yeah,
know Bo is only a second year quarterback, but as much as Denver fans want to say, like, no, it's different in the NFL and stuff, like he was in college a lot longer than some of these other quarterbacks. Like he has been
yeah.
playing at a public professional level for a while before he got to the NFL.
Yeah, and Peyton's had what 3 years to
Mhm.
establish his identity. This is Mike Vrabel's first year,
Yeah.
so that aspect
What
as
a
well.
crazy run for a first year quarterback, like or
Yeah,
a head coach. And then running with him and like the development that they've had this year, it's so
great
crazy to
job.
me. We talked about this on the last episode. He is the only head coach in that division to maintain his job, and he's been there for a year.
Yeah, that's
Like the
insane.
longest tenure for a head coach in the AFC East is 13 months.
That's ridiculous. The NFL, the chaos, like we've been saying all year, it's continuing into the
Yeah.
off season.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever
Um,
seen a year where over 25% of head coaching jobs are vacant.
Now we talked about the Broncos taking away the ball. The Patriots have a really good defense as well. They don't get put up there with the Seattle, the Denver, the Houston, but they have an excellent defense as well that can take the ball away. Carlton Davis with 2 interceptions last week, a bunch of forced fumbles. Um, you know,
Christian Gonzalez on Cortland Sutton is going to be
yeah,
a fun matchup, especially
yeah,
with a quarterback switch up like this. Like that's going to be a lot of pressure for a backup quarterback. I can see him going after a ball from
yeah.
Jarrett Stidham on that. And Cortland Sutton hasn't been as productive as we're used to. He's kind of
No,
been a little
Marvin
slow this
Mims.
postseason. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Broncos are kind of a team, and that might have been Bo Nix too, like spreading the ball around,
Yeah,
going to the
well,
open
they've
guy.
been spreading the ball great, but if you look back last year, Cortland Sutton's numbers were much higher. I feel
Yeah.
like they're spreading the ball. They're leaning more on their run game. Their run game is more developed this year. RJ Harvey is coming along really nicely. Um, so it's gonna be a fun one. I think the dominant factor is going to be that number one scoring offense versus the number one defense. Like I think whoever comes out firing on all cylinders there is going to be the winning thing. But it's really hard to pick a backup quarterback to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I look at. I think that Bo Nix running ability and Drake May running ability is very valuable. So without Bo Nix's legs, Jarrett Stidham's more of a pocket passer type of quarterback. I think that might hurt him a little bit.
Mhm.
They were also hoping to get J.K. Dobbins back, and he's not ready to go. He's not going to be playing in this game. And if you remember, they struggled on the run game. The Bills were not a good run defense. And Bo Nix led the Broncos in rushing. McLaughlin and RJ Harvey combined for 41 rushing yards. So that's an issue. And
Mhm.
if they can't run the ball, all that's going to do is put more pressure on Jarrett Stidham. So I know it's in Denver, but all the signs are pointing to New England here.
Yeah,
Um,
and the historical matchup of like, oh, New England hasn't won historically in Denver. These are completely different teams. These teams are so
yeah,
young, like it doesn't really matter. Like you can't go back. It's not
streaks
Tom
are
Brady versus Peyton Manning. Like I don't
yeah,
like the NFL is so young right now.
yeah.
Like the teams who are in the postseason right now, it's so hard to like be like, well, historically, like these they were in high school when that happened. It doesn't matter. So
I
I feel like I have to pick New England here, but I do love the Denver story, and I think I'll be pulling for Denver. But I think New England will probably pull it off.
I'm picking the Patriots, and I'll be pulling for the Patriots. Mike Vrabel, I tweeted it long before we hired Ben Johnson. I said, I want Mike
Mhm.
Vrabel. He's a proven winner in this league. He took Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
He's never been in a Super Bowl as a head coach. This is his opportunity. So I'm riding with the Patriots here, but it's going to be tough. I think what that stat says mostly is just that Denver is a very tough place to go into in the playoffs and
Yeah.
win. That home field, that crowd, you know. But we'll see if Drake May is up to the challenge. If Drake May turns the ball over a bunch, they're not going to win. So
He
he's
can't
got to
have three
protect the
turnovers
ball.
in this one. Like
Yeah,
that, yeah, he's got to clean it up. I'm sure they've been focusing on that quite a bit. But
yeah.
just coming into this week, I was looking for like the longest postseason drought, the longest Super Bowl drought, the most underdog story. I feel like either I'm rooting for Matt Stafford to win one more and retire and hang out with his four daughters. Because if you haven't read Matt Stafford's like personal life, like what's gone on in their family over the past like 5 or 6 years, read up on it. They've gone through like his wife had a brain tumor. They were told they couldn't have kids. They had an IVF baby. Surprise, had twins naturally. His wife went into surgery. Like they have gone through so much. So I love the idea of him winning one more and being able to retire. I mean, he's been getting shots, cortisol shots in his back all season just to be able to play. So I love the idea of him winning one and retiring. But the backup quarterback to the Super Bowl situation, that's a fun story too. So emotionally, I'm for either one of those stories, but I do think New England will pull it off.
No, Stafford is a very likable guy. He's
He is,
easy to
yeah.
root for. He plays through injuries, and
I'm
he's a
so glad
great
he
family
survived
guy.
Detroit because we've seen
Yeah,
some great players go to Detroit, never win anything, and then just retire, and that's it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's lucky to get, teamed up with McVay and then get these weapons around him in LA. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to LA late in their career and play with McVay and those guys? But this Rams Seahawks game is going to be awesome. They split the season series 1-1, and the combined score of their two games is 58-57. Talk about evenly matched.
Mhm.
These two teams are as even as it gets, and I just think the advantages with the Rams. I know the Seahawks, came back. They had three 2-point conversions to win that game, but the Rams were up by 16, I believe, in the fourth, if not late third, and the Seahawks were able to come back and win that. I just feel like the Rams are the better team, and and I don't trust Sam Darnold. In two games against the Rams this year, Sam Darnold has six interceptions. And again, turnovers are going to be key, and we'll see. A lot of people are waiting. Someone said it's super hard to break that narrative of a quarterback that chokes in big games. And Darnold gets credit for winning week 18. He gets credit for winning last week. But all the doubters are waiting, for this game or for the Super Bowl, that one bad performance in the biggest game. So we'll see how Darnold plays in this one. What do you think we're going to see from Darnold here?
I just feel like they've had it so they
I
have
mean,
they have
last week was so easy, right?
yeah, they had it so easy last week, and the Rams have been like fighting like this would be their
Yeah.
third road win in a row. There's only 6 teams in NFL postseason history who have won 3 road games in the postseason.
Hmm.
Like, well, they would be the sixth. There's only 5 teams. But like it's just they've had it so much harder, and I just feel like Seattle might be feeling a little complacent. Like both of their last two matchups kind of came down to the wire. I mean, very evenly split. That I mean, both of those games were so fun, but like 830 yards in those games combined. The Rams have been averaging great air yards per attempt. We've got a great defense in Seattle. I've been jokingly calling them the Legion of Doom. They're very
I
different. They
like
play
that.
very different than the Legion of Boom. Very
Yeah,
different style. They put
but
pressure in
very
different areas.
talented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they've been had a fantastic defense. They're getting their running back, their running back situation, we've loved them since last year. Kenneth Walker, we both really enjoyed him. With Zach Charbonnet out, like I feel like uh,
yeah. Big
that really
loss.
sucks. Like the timing really sucks for that. Um, and then we know Abe is pulling for the Rams here. They've got some great hometown talent for him.
Yeah,
I
Kobe.
think it's just going to be really fun. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think it's going to be high scoring. Um, I want to pull for the Rams here, but I do think Seattle might win, but it's kind of a coin flip situation. Like, you're expecting Sam Darnold to drop this one?
Well, we'll see. And if people are forgetting about the all the talk going into last week was Sam Darnold's oblique injury that came out of
Mhm.
nowhere, right? And he barely had to do anything last week.
Yeah.
124 yards passing. Kenneth Walker carried the day. Rashid Shaheed to start the
Mhm.
game.
Well, yeah, and you look at that game, they only needed an offense for the first 15 seconds of the game and they'd scored enough
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
Like, I will
So you're
say,
asking a lot
conspiracy
more out of him.
theory speaking, I want the Rams to win. um for the Matt Stafford reason. But the funnest story would be if Denver wins with a backup quarterback. So we've got Jarrett Stidham going to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold's oblique gets re-injured at the end of this one. They pull off the win, and then we have two backup quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl. That would be the
That'd be
funniest
insane.
thing ever. I would
It'd
be
be
so entertained by that.
two elite defenses against two backup quarterbacks. That'd be wild.
The score would be like 3-6. Like it would be
Yeah.
so ugly, and I would love it.
And it would probably be Drew Lock, who was drafted by the Broncos.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh, all
Yeah.
right, that's what I'm rooting for now. I want Seattle, I want Denver. This is my Super Bowl goals here. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so that would suit this season of NFL chaos and
Yeah.
just even looking at the coaching thing, like the Bills owners and stuff, like all the dysfunction the NFL has seen this year, nothing would be a better cherry on the top of the 2025 dysfunctional, chaotic season than that. Two backup quarterbacks playing each other and great defenses. That is my goal now. That's what I'm rooting for.
Another thing I forgot to say is Jarrett Stidham was drafted by the Patriots.
Yeah,
So interesting dynamic there too.
yeah,
But
whatever. He's less
um,
interesting. They can't both go to the Super Bowl, so I'm less intrigued by that.
so Kobe Durant, like you mentioned, went to Lamar High School, the same as John Abraham, the same as LaVon Kirkland. He had two interceptions last week, three interceptions in the game for the Rams defense. And so Sam Darnold, he's thrown six against this team. Why not two or three more? So that could be the deciding factor here. Cooper Kupp going up against his former team. We'll see if Jackson Smith and Jigba has a better game. 3 catches for 19 yards last week. I expect him to be much more involved.
Yeah, but they didn't need to.
Exactly. They didn't need to.
Like we were waiting for the 49ers to have a game in which they showed the fact that they've been playing and buying stock in athletic tape and bandages and painkillers, and that was the game when it caught up to them. Like they had
Yeah.
a hell of a season. They overcame so much. Like, you like Vrabel for Coach of the Year. I am all in on Shanahan
Yeah.
for Coach of the Year because
Yeah.
overcoming those injuries, like I'll talk shit all day about Green Bay, like, oh, we could have done something if we weren't injured. They overcame way worse injuries than Green Bay. Green Bay were like, oh no, our guy's down, we're done for the season. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of how well they handled that. And I don't think postseason play should play like I think all the voting should be done before the postseason starts.
I agree.
I don't think that's fair because obviously your MVP candidate, you're gonna see them for a couple more games if they're in the postseason. Like, I
Yeah.
just um this one will be fun. I don't know. We've got two offenses that are, big on forcing volume, play action quarterbacks, huge offensive scoring teams in their last matchups. Clean defensive play would be good. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a a high turnover game because Matt Stafford, as soon as he was the front runner for the MVP conversation, was like, no, 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 let me throw a shitty like let's pretend I'm still in Detroit here real quick. And he had a multi-turnover game too. With these
Yeah.
defenses, I wouldn't be surprised if we had 3-3 or something, which would be
Yeah.
fun because we
Yeah.
love
It's
a
going to
high
be
turnover, sloppy dumpster fire.
turnovers and turnovers on downs. These
Mhm.
coaches these days, we know it. They're aggressive. They go for it. I mean, the last time we saw Seahawks Rams, they went for three 2-point conversions. Two of them they had to have, but the last one they didn't have to have. You could send that game into overtime, right? But they went for two. Or was that in overtime? Was that in overtime they went for two?
I don't remember. We can look it
Yeah, it's
up,
been a
but
while, but
absolute
still,
chaos, just really aggressive play calling. I think it'll be
yeah.
fun. I don't know who I think is gonna win. I mean, I feel like one team has been here before, and I feel like they're gonna act like it. I feel like the Rams are gonna be the more confident team.
Yeah. You know who I'm picking, right?
Yeah, we're gonna end up picking the same. Like,
That's fine. We can disagree on the Super Bowl if we need
I'm
to.
I'm really pulling for Seattle to win, but I don't think they will. I agree with you. I think this would be the one where Sam Darnold catches up with
Yeah.
himself. He's been playing too well lately. It's concerning. Um,
Well, they just, I mean, even so, the last two games Darnold played,
he didn't do
Darnold
anything.
didn't play that great against the
Yeah,
Niners the first time, and it was 13-3. It was a low scoring game. And then the oblique injury, and then 124 passing yards. I think that they're going to need more out of Darnold, a lot more than they
yeah.
needed from him last week. And I
Especially
don't
being
know if
down
he's
one of their
capable.
their duo on the ground. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna ask too much of him and he's gonna choke a little bit.
And
Um,
if you're the Rams, sell out to stop Kenneth Walker
mhm.
and make Sam Darnold prove he can beat you.
Yeah, make him throw to your team.
Yeah.
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 I do think I think they're beatable, but I am pulling for the double backup QB Super Bowl.
You're just hedging your bets. You're like, I'm picking these teams, but I'm rooting for these teams. But I
No, I
get
just
it.
I that story would be so good. Like I really don't care. Like
Yeah.
this is a rerun. Like any way you cut it, I'm not like New
Well,
England,
and
Seattle, 28-24. Like I've seen that one. I lived out here before. Like that's predictable. Like the Rams just won one. Oh my God, New England's good again. They're going to a Super Bowl. Wow, they had such a long drought between Tom Brady and Drake. Like shut up. New England fans are so spoiled. Like I'm just ugh.
well,
As a
we've got
non-fan, I don't have any good stories. So I am pulling for two backup quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. That is
yeah,
my
that
dream.
would be awesome. We've got a guest coming on next week who who played for the Patriots and the Seahawks. So that's who he's rooting
That'll be
for.
perfect. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to having him on. But we're agreeing this week, Rams and
Yeah.
Patriots. It is kind of boring, I agree. We saw Rams Patriots in 2018.
We've seen
But
Seattle,
it's
New England, like
yeah, but
we've
it's new
seen Denver,
teams.
Seattle is a rerun too.
Yeah,
That one was
it,
hideous.
it's new teams. Like you said, it's new players. It's different.
Oh God.
I think if Stafford wins, he will retire. He'll go out on
Yeah.
top.
He might
But
retire anyway. He very much implied he this was his last year at the beginning of the
yeah,
season. Um,
but ultimately, I want the Patriots to win it all. I'm Mike Vrabel. I'm Team Vrabel. So we'll see if they can get it done. And I'm gonna keep harping on it. If the season is as chaotic as we say it is, then we're gonna get the two backup quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. If that happens, if you get what you want, which is the two backup quarterbacks facing off, then I get what I want. Bill Belichick, leave North Carolina, come to the Bills. That's what we all deserve. That's all what we all need. We need chaos. So
yeah.
make it happen.
It's crazy that there's only one matchup of these four teams that hasn't already happened in a Super Bowl.
Broncos, Rams.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
I feel like we should be rooting for that just because the other ones are all reruns.
I don't want to see Jarrett Stidham start a Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
No, I want both backups. Give me both backup QBs. But then again, the last time Denver and Seattle played in the Super Bowl, it was ugly.
Well, last time we
Started
saw
the game with a
Patriots,
safety and it went downhill from there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was so ugly. That
I
was my
loved it
first
though.
time. That was my first time meeting my husband's family in Colorado. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
anyway, hi, why is everyone depressed? Yeah, that was hilarious. But yeah, no.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but we agree this week,
Yeah.
and it's going to be great games. I think they're both going to be awesome. I think they're going to be down to the wire, great finishes, and we'll see who can get it done. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So, on
Yeah.
that note,
Yeah, everybody in the
yeah.
comments, let us know who you're pulling for. Are you team best defense, team best record, team coach of the year candidate, team backup quarterbacks in the Super Bowl like me? I that's my dream. The Super
Yeah.
Bowl's the day after my birthday this year. This is what I'm pulling for. It's my birthday weekend.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it
Backup
happens, you guys are all
quarterback,
welcome.
Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings, Bill Belichick to the Bills. Circle complete. We're all happy.
Bills,
And
Bills.
yep.
Terrible.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know if you agree with our picks or disagree. And have a great week, guys. Peace out.